In a world where magic once brought wonders, it also birthed nightmares. Welcome to the Cursed Beasts, when magic creates monsters, a journey into the dark side of enchantment. From ancient spells gone wrong to creatures twisted by forbidden sorcery, we'll uncover how power meant to protect turned into pure terror. These are not just myths, they are warnings from those who dared to play with forces beyond control. So grab your courage, open your mind, and step into the shadows where magic breathes and monsters are born. This is where legends turn horrifyingly real. The Cursed Beasts, when magic creates monsters. The dark side of enchantment. Magic has long been seen as a double-edged sword, a force capable of both miracles and nightmares. In ancient times, people believed that spells could heal the sick, summon rain, and bring love to the lonely. But just as often, those same powers could twist nature, corrupt the soul, and create horrors that defied human understanding. These abominations, creatures born not of nature, but of curse, became known as the Cursed Beasts. They are not mere animals or demons. They are humans transformed by dark arts, divine punishment, or forbidden rituals gone wrong. From the werewolves of medieval Europe to the Naga of Hindu lore and the monstrous chimera of Greek myth, these stories reveal one chilling truth. When magic seeks to control life itself, it often gives birth to monsters. In this exploration, we'll uncover the origins, evolution, and symbolism of cursed beasts, beings that embody fear, guilt, and the price of playing with forbidden power. 1. The origins of the cursed beast myth. Long before science explained disease or genetics, ancient civilizations turned to supernatural explanations for unnatural transformations. When someone changed suddenly in temperament, appearance, or health, the community often saw it as a curse. Curses were a universal language of fear and morality, serving as warnings against arrogance, cruelty, or the misuse of mystical forces. The first written records of cursed transformations appear in Mesopotamian and Egyptian texts, where gods punished mortals by turning them into animals. In one Egyptian myth, the god Ra transformed traitorous humans into crocodiles and serpents to guard the Nile forever. The underlying message was clear. Divine magic could unmake humanity as easily as it created it. In Greek mythology, transformation by magic was common. The witch Circe turned men into pigs. Medusa, once a beautiful maiden, was cursed by Athena into a gorgon with serpentine hair. Each transformation carried moral weight. Beauty turned to terror, pride to monstrosity. Magic was not evil in itself, but when wielded against nature or justice, it became the tool of damnation. Across continents, similar legends arose independently. In Africa, stories of humans cursed into hyenas or leopards warned of witchcraft and betrayal. In Japan, the Jorogumo, a spider woman cursed by desire, symbolized seduction and deceit. These patterns suggest that the cursed beast archetype is not just mythic storytelling. It is psychological truth expressed through folklore. 2. Transformation as punishment and power. One of the defining traits of cursed beasts is that their monstrous form reflects their inner flaw or sin. The transformation is rarely random. It mirrors the human's transgression. Werewolves, for example, often represent uncontrolled rage or lust. The curse amplifies the primal instincts within a person, stripping away morality and self-control. In medieval Europe, werewolves were sometimes believed to be cursed sinners, condemned to hunt by night for crimes of passion or murder. Medusa's curse mirrors vanity and victimhood. Punished for beauty and desecration, she becomes both the monster and the victim of divine cruelty. The Wendigo of Algonquian lore represents greed and cannibalism, a spirit that consumes those who give in to hunger for flesh or power, transforming them into skeletal beasts driven by eternal starvation. Curses in these myths act as moral transformations. They externalize the inner corruption of the soul. In other words, the monster is a reflection, the human spirit's rot made visible. But the curse isn't always punishment. Sometimes it's unintended consequence. In medieval grimoires, alchemists and sorcerers who sought to transcend human limits often paid the price in body and soul. Seeking immortality, they became ghouls, Seeking divine power, they became demons. Magic, the stories warned, demands balance. Every gain must be paid for, sometimes with one's humanity. 3. The alchemy of monsters. When spells go wrong. The theme of magic gone wrong runs deep in literature and legend alike. From Frankenstein's creature to modern tales of genetic manipulation, the pattern remains. The desire to play God results in creation's perversion. In older traditions, this wrong magic was tied to forbidden rituals, necromancy, transmutation, or resurrection. These acts sought to defy the natural order, and nature, through curse or consequence, retaliated. For instance, in Norse sagas, warriors who donned enchanted wolf pelts could transform into berserkers, but overuse of the power led to madness and permanent bestial form. The Faustian archetype, a scholar who trades his soul for forbidden knowledge, represents the ultimate cursed beast in human form, one who becomes monstrous not in body, but in spirit. The changelings of Celtic myth, fairy children swapped for human ones, suggest that tampering with magical forces can distort life itself, erasing identity and humanity. In these stories, magic itself is not evil, it is amoral. It amplifies what already exists within the human heart. A healer uses it to mend, a tyrant to dominate. But when magic becomes obsession, the human becomes its vessel, and the beast emerges. 4. The cultural faces of the cursed beasts. Every culture interprets cursed beasts through its own moral lens, blending religion, superstition, and social values. Let's look at some distinct traditions that capture this shared fear. A. Europe, the lycanthrope and the witch's curse. In Europe, the cursed beast was most famously the werewolf, a symbol of man's struggle with his animal nature. During the witch trials, accusations of lycanthropy often accompanied witchcraft. The church viewed transformation as the devil's mark, proof of moral corruption. The beast within represented both sin and desire. The shadow self society sought to suppress. B. Asia, the spirits of transformation. In Japan and China, cursed beasts often arose from spiritual imbalance. The kitsune fox spirit, or huli jing, could possess humans, granting power but consuming the host's soul. In contrast to Western punishment narratives, these stories focus on temptation, humans willingly merging with the supernatural. Transformation, then, was not just curse but exchange, a sacrifice of humanity for power, wisdom, or forbidden love. C. Africa, the shapeshifters of the night. African mythology is filled with skinwalkers, were hyenas and lion men, humans cursed or trained through witchcraft to transform into beasts. These stories often warn of greed, jealousy, or dark sorcery. Unlike Western tales, where curses are moral punishments, African legends frequently tie them to social betrayal, breaking taboos, harming kin, or violating sacred laws. D. The Americas, the spirits of hunger. Among Native American nations, creatures like the Wendigo or Skinwalker represent imbalance with nature. Magic that seeks personal gain, to live forever, to hunt endlessly, corrupts the soul. The transformation is permanent because it is spiritual decay made flesh. These tales warn that taking too much from the world makes one less than human. 5. Magic, morality, and the loss of humanity. What makes cursed beast stories timeless is their moral depth. They're not just horror tales. They're ethical allegories about the dangers of unchecked power. When humans attempt to control nature, defy death, or alter destiny, they cross a boundary reserved for the divine. The curse, whether cast by gods, witches, or fate, represents cosmic correction. It restores balance by transforming the violator into what they truly are inside. This moral theme can be seen across myths. Pride leads to fall. Narcissus becomes a flower. Lucifer becomes a demon. Cruelty begets isolation. Beauty and the beast. The cursed prince learns compassion. Greed devours the self. The Wendigo hungers eternally. In this sense, the cursed beast is not just a monster. It is a mirror for human flaws. It tells us that monstrosity begins not with fangs or claws, but with desire unrestrained by conscience. 6. The science behind the myth. While myth explains transformation through magic, modern science offers metaphors that echo those same fears. Genetic mutation, for example, evokes the idea of tampering with life's code, the modern equivalent of forbidden magic. The results, from cloned animals to hybrid experiments, raise the same ethical questions ancient myths once asked. Should we do what we can do? Psychology explains curses as manifestations of guilt or trauma. A person turns into a monster under emotional strain, not physically, but through behavior and obsession. The beast within becomes metaphorical but no less real. Folklore studies show that many cursed beast legends emerged from misunderstood diseases, rabies, porphyria, or hypertrichosis, excess hair growth, that inspired tales of transformation. Thus, while magic may not literally create monsters, the human mind certainly can. Our fears and guilt, externalized through story, give life to the cursed beast, whether by spell or by sin. 7. Redemption and the breaking of curses. Not all cursed beasts are doomed forever. Many stories offer redemption through sacrifice, love, or forgiveness. This reflects humanity's deep hope that no transformation is beyond reversal, that the monster within can still be tamed. In Beauty and the Beast, compassion breaks the curse, love restores humanity. In Slavic folklore, cursed beings regain form when their story is told, or their truth revealed. In modern fantasy, cursed characters like the Hulk or Dr. Jekyll echo the same struggle, finding balance between man and monster. Redemption in these tales isn't about defeating magic. It's about confronting the flaw that birthed it. The curse lifts only when the lesson is learned. Thus, the true magic isn't external power, it's the transformation of the soul. 8. The modern echo. Cursed beasts in pop culture. From cinema to literature, the motif of cursed beasts continues to evolve. Modern audiences may no longer fear witches or gods, but we still fear what we might become when power corrupts us. Werewolves, vampires, and demons now serve as metaphors for addiction, trauma, or inner conflict. Films like The Fly and Splice reimagine curses through science, experiments that morph humans into abominations. Series like The Witcher and Harry Potter portray curses as remnants of ancient magic, dangerous tools from a darker age. Even superhero narratives echo the cursed beast. Hulk's rage, Venom's symbiote, or Spider-Man's black suit all symbolize power's price. These modern retellings preserve the myth's essence, that the true monster is born when desire exceeds morality. Whether through spell or science, the curse remains the same, a warning against the misuse of creation. 9. The philosophy of a curse. At its core, the myth of the cursed beast is existential. It asks what it means to be human and what it takes to lose that humanity. Magic in these stories is not just supernatural power, it's will made manifest. When guided by love or compassion, it heals. When driven by pride or vengeance, it destroys. The cursed beast stands at the crossroads of choice, a reminder that power and morality must coexist, or else one consumes the other. This duality reflects ancient philosophical thought. In alchemy, transformation, the magnum opus, was meant to refine both matter and soul. Failure to purify the spirit before wielding power led not to enlightenment, but to corruption. The beast, then, is the failed alchemist, the one who sought gold without first purifying the heart. 10. When creation becomes curse. The story of the cursed beasts, whether told by shamans, priests, or scientists, endures because it speaks to a universal truth, the danger of unbalanced creation. Magic, technology, and ambition all share the same root, the human desire to transcend limitation. But when that desire lacks wisdom, it breeds monstrosity. Cursed beasts remind us that every act of creation carries responsibility. Every spell, experiment, or wish shapes reality, for better or worse. They are the echoes of our arrogance and the shadows of our potential. They warn that the line between creator and destroyer, man and monster, is thinner than we think. In the end, the cursed beast is not a creature of myth alone. It is a reflection of what we might become when we seek power without purpose or knowledge without conscience. And perhaps, in understanding these monsters, we are reminded of our most sacred truth, that to remain human, one must never forget the cost of becoming more than human. The world of the cursed beasts reminds us that magic is never without a price. Every spell, every ritual, carries the risk of awakening something beyond our control. From ancient grimoires to modern tales of dark transformations, these monsters stand as echoes of human ambition and its downfall. If you were captivated by the mysteries we uncovered tonight, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unseen and the unknown. Until next time, beware what you summon, because some creations never truly die. This is your host, signing off from the shadows.